Hello and welcome to Entertainment Expansion. We are your hosts, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how are you doing?
Just peachy, Tyler. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. I know it's been a few weeks since we've come out with an episode. We've both been caught up on stuff, but we have not been wasting our time. We have been catching up on shows and movies to watch, and we have one to talk about now. To be fair, we've kind
Yes,
of finished watching this a few weeks ago, but we, you know, we have to talk about it. It's been out there. We're talking about She-Hulk. To some people online, it is a very divisive show. I would definitely say, even if you're for it or against it, it is. Mike, I think It's okay to say it is the most divisive Marvel show yet.
yeah, you're not wrong.
In one, its existence, and in two, if it's actually good or not.
I would disagree on the existence part.
I see some again pretty sexist comments, but like, oh well, why are they making a She-Hulk show? Like, it's not even like, oh, the show is bad and it shouldn't exist. It's like, why does it exist in the first place? I think that's kind of stupid considering she's a
I agree.
prominent character in the comics. So it's not like they're pulling out of their ass. But yeah, She-Hulk, bit different, straight up, more or less 30-minute episodes. It's treated more like a
The
sitcom than say action drama like say Loki or Winter Soldier. This is very much
or
treated like a
interesting like Loki or Winter Soldier.
yeah, it was, this is treated like a what if it was like Modern Family, but Marvel, Hey. So Mike, what'd you think of it?
Uh, well, it's kind of a mixed bag. I feel like the show started off strong,
Okay.
but it fizzled really fast, and so did my interest in it.
So all right, you said it started off strong. Now, this is also a bit different because of the shorter episodes. There's I believe there's 9 episodes. There's 9 episodes. So where did it lose you?
When she went off to do her own thing away from Bruce.
So episode 2.
Yeah, most likely. So right off the bat, they squandered the budget getting Mark Ruffalo in the first and last episode. Spoiler alert
Yeah.
if you give a shit to watch this.
Yeah,
Because
full spoilers. We're doing full spoilers for this.
his character design actually looked right. She Hulk CGI looked. Uh,
No, no, you can say it. It looked like crap in some scenes.
oh yeah, it was an abomination in some scenes. Matter of fact, Abomination looked better than fucking She Hulk
Well,
did.
Abomination looked better than the main character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a good sign. The better version of CGI would be spray paint the main character fucking green. That would have been a better look. So that kind of killed it for me, like
And then
right
like
off the bat.
superimposer, like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, camera tricks. I mean, how do
Yeah.
you think they make Vin Diesel look the same height as The Rock in
Or how about
Fast
the
and Furious?
hobbits?
Camera
They're
tricks.
not on all 3 feet in real life.
Exactly. There's ways around it with
Mm-hmm.
practical effects that would have looked better.
Marvel doesn't do
But
practical effects. Come on.
no, they just fuck over their visual effects team every chance they get and overwork them.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about that. So they started off interesting. I kind of enjoyed the banter between Hulk and She Hulk, and him trying to teach her, but her kind of finding her own way because not everything works the same for two different people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, there were like highs and lows of it, but I just found myself not really caring about the show or even to follow it anymore. I mean, I unfortunately did for the sake of this here episode. It just couldn't captivate me.
Okay.
No matter how hard it tried, no matter how many fourth wall breaks it did, you're not as funny as Deadpool. Calm yourself.
All right. So, I mean, I'm of the different opinion on this show. I enjoyed it for what it is throughout the entire run. It did take me an episode or two to get used to, like, okay, Bruce really just they're just really gonna keep Bruce away until the finale. It's like, all right, fine.
Which makes sense because it's not his show.
No, no, I
I
get it. And
didn't
also, the
dislike the
budget would
show
be too
because of
much.
that. I just think the story plot was better when he was in it and not kind of off doing its own random ass thing.
Yeah, I feel like it could have been better. Like, he doesn't need to be a main character, but he could be a recurring character that pops in and out. It doesn't need to be hard stop. Second episode, he's off to space and then doesn't come back for another 7. Like,
Yeah, like
it's kind of jarring.
Did we really need to see a whole dating episode of She-Hulk? Like, was that
Well,
necessary?
well, I didn't mind it. So like my thing is for what it aimed to be, which is a Marvel sitcom. I think it succeeded. Like it is a lighthearted show, and I think it did better being a lighthearted show than Hawkeye did. I think one of my main criticisms of Hawkeye is it tried to be a lighthearted show, but it also tried to have its serious moments, and it could not find the right
Balance the two.
tone. Yeah, exactly.
But
She-Hulk,
this didn't try to have serious moments. That was the difference.
which I think is fine because for the most part, it's pretty low stakes. This is not end of the world stuff. And even with Hawkeye, it's not like Kingpin's running loose, though I guess he kind of still is running loose. But like it's not even Falcon Winter Soldier where they're trying to cause a global pandemic, or Loki where Kang is now going everywhere in all different universes. This is very much a local issue. This is a small issue. Still an issue, but it is not like it as as it's now famously put, it's not an Avengers level threat.
No, it is not.
It's not. And I think because they set the stakes pretty low and to the ground, it's not in space, it's not flying around. I think it worked well. And I actually did like the dating stuff. And this as what's kind of called the slice of life, where you just see the character do their daily stuff. And I think we haven't really gotten that from a superhero perspective really since the beginning of Age of Ultron, really.
We
Like
didn't
slice of life.
really. We
And even
didn't
then, it wasn't
really
that
need it
much.
though.
Well, I like to change of pace, I mean, if you think about it, just this year in the MCU, we're dealing with some horror stuff with WandaVision, with Wanda just running around the multiverse. You have Thor: Love and Thunder dealing with cancer and a god killer. It's like you're dealing with all the serious stuff, and then obviously Black Panther, Wakanda Forever coming up, obviously is going to deal with some heavy stuff. So the fact that this is just, we're a lighthearted show, have some laughs, couple small fights, whatever. I think it
Yeah.
works. Now, it is not perfect. The CGI in some of these scenes is atrocious to the fact that I am surprised they approved this.
Yeah.
So either
Well,
the
they did.
CGI team was like rushing it out the door, and for some reason Marvel and Disney did not want to delay it. I don't know. But some of it was just bad. And look, some things I wasn't the biggest fan of. Like, I just found it, I'm not against it, but like having a post credit scene of like She-Hulk twerking with Megan Thee Stallion, I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Felt that came out of nowhere. Also, I did kind of find it weird in that episode.
That she was even brought into it.
No, her being in it is fine. I found it weird that every single character, when they mention her, have to say Megan Thee Stallion. Not Megan, not Miss Stallion. It's got to be the full three words. And I'm like, is this in contract, or like is this a joke I don't get?
That's
And
her
I
full
do think
stage
some
name.
plot elements are stupid. Hulk's son and his stupid
Yeah.
ass haircut.
And the bad CGI.
And the bad CGI, literally Hulk and that's only because of Endgame. He's the only one that looks good. And Abomination for the most part.
Yeah.
But even then, they
And
probably used the
Abomination.
Incredible Hulk as a reference and then upgraded him. Wait, no, no, he was in
No,
She-Hulk.
Shang-Chi.
No, not She-Hulk. The Shang-Chi. Yeah,
Well, you're not wrong. He is in She-Hulk.
yeah, but like, yeah, he's in Shang-Chi too. I forgot. It's
Yeah.
like,
So basically, the reused assets looked fine, but anything that had to be newly developed.
yeah, reused from a movie. You're solid. Everything else, nah.
My issue with this show is it must have had a very, I don't want to say low budget. I didn't look at the budget for it, but it definitely didn't have as big of a budget as what it needed, because it kind of showed, and the last episode also kind of proves it. It's like they're trying to be cheeky and do the fourth wall break where she jumps out of the show itself,
Mhm.
fucking scales your Disney Plus home screen, and breaks into
Which I
fucking Disney Studios and talks to Kevin. Like
I
the
thought I
whole
thought that
Kevin
was
thing
great.
was a robot.
I thought that was hilarious. But
I thought the Kevin thing was as a robot was funny, but you can't be cheeky about, oh yeah, there's not really a big enough budget for this. Like that's why we're doing this. Like that's
okay, but then all right. My response to you is when we get Deadpool 3 in 2 years with Wolverine, that's going to be acceptable because he's going to shit talk Disney, he's going to shit talk Marvel and the Fox universe.
They're not going to cut his budget, but also Deadpool did shit more creatively.
I'm not, yeah, well, yeah, but like She-Hulk also breaks the fourth wall quite a bit in this show, and even jokes about, oh, like even the finale, it's like, oh, why do we have to have this big climactic fight and all that? Like she's self-referencing what the other shows have done, and I
Yes,
find that hilarious. So I don't view the finale as we don't have a budget. I do think the finale was creative in what it was looking to do, but I think you're right. I think throughout the show, the budget was needed. It was very much they had like three main set pieces: the office, the courtroom, and like the bar was the majority of the scenes.
yeah,
Like it was very much like Hawkeye, for the tonal issues I have with that show, very much looks and feels, because it did film in New York City. It looks and feels like they filmed around New York City.
yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier looked like they filmed on location a lot. She-Hulk, no. This was purely a lot of sets, which is weird because the show is set in LA. You're restricted to the lots unless low budget.
And I think that's what kind of hurt the show a little bit.
All right. Well, then let's get into specifics then. Let's start off with the She-Hulk side of characters first, to be respectful. What did you think of her friends, coworkers, right? The guy friend, the assistant. You know, I'm happy they didn't
Yeah,
go with the twist that one of them was evil.
yeah. I mean, they proved to be kind of good friends who kind of stuck with her through thick and thin, which
Yeah.
was nice to see. Like no one switched up on her, so that wasn't bad. There felt like there was some genuine friendship there, but yeah, no, the relationships between them all kind of worked.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, and I think that's a nice. I like the change of pace where her cast of characters, for the most part, are all very supportive of her. Her family, her immediate family, her friends, and even like the snobby lawyer, when push comes to shove, when she needs to help her, she steps up and helps her, even if they don't see eye to eye.
Correct.
Yeah. Half the Marvel movies, these characters have daddy issues, friendship issues, family issues. Like, I think She-Hulk is kind of like the first superhero where their main core set of characters she has a healthy relationship with. Really.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Tony Stark and Captain Rogers had a very healthy relationship.
Oh yeah, sure. And his father and Peppers. Just again, he's just a charming guy. All right, so let's go to the cameos or the other side characters. We're talking about Wong, aka Wongers, who we now know watches The Sopranos.
Yeah, Wong was funny. I always enjoy seeing Wong.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, you know what? You could be arrested for breaking a prisoner out of jail. Oh, excuse me, I'll be right back. Just zoop, pieces out. Like that was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I do like how they actually did connect it back to Shang-Chi with the underground fighting. Like, oh, okay, so Wong did commit a crime. We can establish that. Not that he will come back to face that, but no, I thought that was good, and I think it's nice to see him in a again more relaxed role. Again, he's coming off of Doctor Strange where he almost died multiple times.
Yeah.
So to see him chilling in the mountains, made a new friend, watching HBO Max, clearly that's now set in this universe.
Yeah, thanks for promoting an HBO show, Disney.
Yeah, I'm surprised they allowed that. It's like, I mean, it's an old show, but it's a main show on HBO. Like, all right, sure, whatever.
Part of the fourth wall break.
And then I guess the other main side character, that's not part of She-Hulk's group, is Emil Blonsky. Tim Roth is back as Abomination, clocking in at over almost 12 years since his last appearance.
Yeah.
I like that he came back.
Yeah, and I like how he went from being an evil villain to just kind of trying to con people into giving him money.
Yeah, and honestly, considering he can just Hulk out and start going on a murderous rampage, I think that's a good compromise, right? He's not a goody two shoes. He wants to obey the law, but he also wants to make some money.
Yep.
So yeah, I thought that was good, and I also do like that again, like this is a lighthearted story, but also like She-Hulk directly referenced, hey, you know, like there's an issue at first with, you know, working with the guy because like he did try to kill Bruce, did try to kill her cousin. Like that is a thing that happened. So
Yeah, but Bruce was okay with it because he sent him a nice letter and they reconciled.
yeah.
We got one more person to talk about.
Oh yeah, you know, I almost forgot about him.
Yeah,
But that's because I don't watch the Netflix shows.
yeah.
So I
That's what
will
you're
ask you
messing up
first.
because that show is better than this fucking thing.
All right, so I'll ask you, as someone who has watched all the Netflix Marvel shows. Again, I'm Mr. AK Iron Fist only here.
Well, yeah, no, I didn't watch all the Netflix Marvel shows. Don't false advertisement like that, Tyler.
Okay, fine. You watched the
Punisher,
Daredevil and the
Daredevil,
Punisher ones.
Luke Cage season
You really
one and
just
two.
only didn't watch Iron Fist, did you?
Iron Fist. What was the other one? Defenders.
Defenders and Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I didn't even know Jessica Jones exists. Um,
Okay.
but as someone who's watched the Netflix Daredevil, I think the best part about him appearing in She-Hulk is that he's going to be he's in the MCU now, so that's a pleasant surprise. Will they let him be as gritty and brutal as he was in the Netflix show? I fucking hope so. But
I think they will. But do
he's
you
also
not?
more lighthearted though.
But did you appreciate
And
like with all the stuff he goes through in the Netflix show? Because from what I've heard, he goes through some shit in the shows. Like it's a
oh yeah,
serious show. So all right, with that being the case, and me not knowing fully what he goes through, did you not like to switch up where he's a bit more relaxed and having some fun? Again, he's not the quippy typical MCU guy. He does make the light joke here or there, but aren't you happy that he's in a better place now before he goes into his own Daredevil show and he has to go up against Kingpin again and probably go through with some more shit?
yeah. I mean, it was good to see him again.
Okay, so I just kind of feel like you're dancing around the question. Like you're making it sound like he needs to be miserable all the time.
Doesn't need to be miserable, but I'm not used to seeing him in lighter hearted. There were light moments, but like Daredevil works as a more serious character. It's kind of and I know there's going to be some comic fanboys down in the comments and well, there was this one comic that he was doing jokes. I don't give a fuck. Think about Batman, right?
Yeah,
Does Batman work in a comical
but I
way?
don't think this was comical. If I saw Bruce Wayne smiling and flirting with a
Well,
girl, I'd be happy for him.
well, Bruce Wayne does do that because that's his alter
Yeah, but
ego.
like legitimately, like not the facade as Bruce Wayne, like legitimately hitting on a girl.
Well, yeah, that Batman does that with Catwoman.
Yeah, but that's different.
I mean, just during the fight, Daredevil was a little comical.
Like
My ass is still on kick.
I'm sorry, I don't see Bruce Wayne going to a family barbecue. Catwoman.
Yeah, because he doesn't have family.
He goes to her family.
She doesn't
Of course
have
he
one,
does.
Tyler.
Well, he can bring Alfred. That's about it.
No, but I mean, yes, like it works, and I enjoy the fact that both of them found a place for each other in each other's hearts. I'm just saying the tone of Daredevil. I hope they don't continue that. I think it works for the show
Mm-hmm.
and him being placed in the show.
No, yeah, no, I'm kind of with you on that. And again, this is someone who hasn't seen Daredevil. I'm fine with him being lighthearted now because he deserves a break. But again, they're doing a massive 18 episode season. That should not be lighthearted and jokes through and through. There should be serious stuff going on in that show. That's what people love.
Yes.
So again, like not to disrespect your thoughts on Daredevil or anyone else who's like, no, Daredevil has to be super serious all the time. I agree. If the normal Daredevil is serious, then 70-80% of that show should be serious. It should not be a quip fest. If it is, you lost a plot. I agree.
Yeah.
But it's not like this is the first time they've done that. Kingpin, again, super serious guy, shows up in Hawkeye in a Hawaiian shirt. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he'll be wearing that throughout the entire show in Daredevil. I think he'll go back to his more normal looking clothes.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so I guess before we wrap up, I think I kind of know what you're going to say so far, but would you want a second season? Or if you don't want a second season, what would make you want to watch?
I want them to give them the budget to actually make the show look on par with the other Marvel shows that we've gotten so far,
Okay.
and maybe give her an actual series antagonist who's worth being interested in.
You
And
didn't feel
actually,
the social media influencer Tatiana was not gripping enough?
no, like give her some real conflict,
Okay, fair enough.
because that's what makes the show entertaining to watch. Because this isn't like a show where it's like one off. Like you brought up Modern Family. For the most part, shows like that, each episode has its own plot, and they call it a day. There's a loose wraparound plot. This doesn't have the luxury of being able to do that. But
All right.
that's just my 2 cents.
I'm kind of the same opinion as you. Like, if there's a second season, I'll go ahead and watch it. But I would prefer a higher budget because I feel like it's a disservice to the actors already working on it and putting in the work.
Yeah,
Because like, is everyone talking about the good acting they put in? No, everyone's talking about, oh, did you see that ugly CGI shot? It's like, if I was in their shoes, I feel a bit sad by that.
agreed.
You know, for quite a few people on this cast, this is the big break. You're in the MCU now. You might get some gigs from it, and no one's talking about what you guys did.
Nope.
So, yeah, look, I definitely think this deserves a second season. Because to actually go to your point regarding a proper antagonist, I thought they were building up the group against She-Hulk with Todd. I think that's his name, Todd. I thought they were building that up pretty good, but the issue is in the finale when it all comes to a climax. Like as soon as it gets to the climax, it's she's jumping through Disney Plus to talk to Kevin. It's like, and it's resolved.
Yep, my point.
So no, you're definitely right that like if you're gonna build up a season-long antagonist, it's got to deliver.
So essentially, the conclusion that we're coming to is the She-Hulk season finale. The whole conflict resolution is that She-Hulk becomes a character. She busts into the manager's office and demands a change.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, great job, Disney.
Because like I feel I feels like she's a good character right now. I think the performance is great. I think what She-Hulk's abilities are, I think everything works. It's just really she doesn't have a character development now.
Correct.
Because like one thing I was kind of disappointed in is like her having her Hulk moment and freaking out. I thought was great because a lot of people shit talked at the beginning of the show. Oh, she says she's a woman, so she can control her anger, and she's automatically better trained than regular Hulk. But it's like no, it shows under the right circumstances she can freak out and Hulk out just like the Hulk. She's not impervious to it. So I thought it was great that it happened to show that it can. And in the next episode, that's just kind of wiped away.
Yeah.
So again, character development just kind of gone.
Correct.
But all right, so I guess recommendations. I would say give it a watch. It's not a bad show for me personally. If you go in expecting a lighthearted show, you'll have a couple of laughs. Again, the episodes aren't long. Just really don't expect any like this is not Loki. Do not expect any long-term ramifications to the MCU. Besides Hulk's son, everything's pretty much self-contained. So, and hey, if you want to see Daredevil, there's Daredevil for like an episode and a half.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm going to have a very controversial statement here. My recommendation is do whatever you want. You want to watch it, go ahead, watch it. Don't let anybody stop you. If you don't feel like watching it, don't fucking watch it. My opinion, it might not really be worth your time. But yeah, make your own decision. But as always, we want to know your thoughts about She-Hulk. Did you watch it? Did you not give a shit about it? As always, feel free to tell us why at Entertainment Expansion. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And while you're at it, down in those comments, why don't we list reasons why Tyler needs to watch Netflix's Daredevil? As always, thank you for listening.